And yes, a very good afternoon to all of you. So I think most of you have joined, and there is at least one student, if I'm not wrong, is a new student. Uh, Ali Khail. Ali Khail.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you are a new student?
Yes, I'm a new student.
Sure. So what I'll do is I'll be sharing the link of the video lecture that I took, the orientation one, so that you'll get to know both the electives in terms of what is RWB and what is SPS. So that lecture link you will be given. So, and also the Google form from where you can choose your elective, either RWB or SPS, right? So that way, all those new students, those who are joined, they'll be given this link through which you will first of all get to know what are these two electives, how do we choose it, and of course, accordingly, you will have to choose by the end of this week your chosen elective, right? So that's uh, from my side. So I'll be sharing this. So I'll take your name as it is displayed. And are you from BCom or BBA?
From BBA.
You are from BBA. Fine, fine. So I'll add
Yes.
your name in the BBA class list that I have, and then later on I'll add. Right? Sure. So apart from Ali Khail, most of you are the students those who have already attended, right? So now I would request all of you to show me the videos, right? I want you to have the videos on so that we can look at each other and we can interact better. So today I just wanted to ask all of you one by one that why did you choose RWB, and why do you think you preferred reading and writing for business over speaking and presentation skills, right? And then I'll be sharing a few more insights of what this syllabus is all about and how are we going to do that, right? So in no particular order, in the screen that I see, the way their names appear, I would request them to first of all switch on their videos and then unmute themselves and share the simple things that why do you think you chose RWB, and then we might have some interaction, right? So first of all, I would request Lam Dorji. Lam, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Lam. You chose RWB,
Yes, sir.
right? So if you could tell us why did you choose RWB?
Actually, I choose RWA since because I'm interested in reading and writing. Reading
Okay.
as well as writing, sir.
Okay. And where do you think it is going to help you?
Since my ambition is to become a journalist, I think reading and writing will help in my future career.
Okay. Okay. Good to know that. Good to know that. So anything in particular are you expecting from this say subject?
Yes, sure, sir. Yes, sir.
So what is it that you are expecting from this course?
I'm expecting how to write, read, and also.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure.
I think I'll gain some important tips to how to write and how to read and also.
Sure. Sure. So
Since
definitely
being a journalist, I should be good in writing. No?
true. True.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure. So good to know that. Good to know that. Thank you, Lam. Now then we have Zalalem. Do we have Zalalem?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Zalalem. If you could tell me why did you choose RWB?
Okay. I chose this RW
Because if you could tell me why did you choose RWB?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Zalalem.
I'm RW.
You're audible. You're audible.
Okay. I choose this RWB, that means writing and reading business for business. When we write any types of letter, which is formal or not formal, when we write any text through email for any organizations or for individual persons, writing is very, very necessary and mandatory to know each and every grammars and spellings and everything. And it's
Okay.
a basic thing. That's why I select this RW.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Zalalem. Anything else you would like to add?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Sure. Thank you. Do we have Abdul? Do we have Abdul in the class? Abdul, are you there? No, it seems he's not. I'm not audible to him, I guess. Fine. Do we have Bimal? Bimal Rai? Yes, Bimal, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Bimal, if you can tell me, why did you choose this elective, RWB? Yes, Bimal? Bimal Rai? Okay. Seems I'm not audible to Bimal. Fine. So next to Bimal, do we have Christopher? Christopher?
Yes.
Yes, Christopher. So if you could tell me, why did you choose RWB as your elective?
Because I'm comfortable with reading and writing other than presenting. Presenting would have been a challenge to me. I'm very comfortable with reading and writing. And yeah, that's basically why.
Okay, so you chose because you are comfortable, or you chose because you are not comfortable?
I chose reading and writing for business because I'm comfortable with the elective. I'm very comfortable with it.
Sure. Okay, good to know that. Chelly, now who's next in the sequence? Do we have Mutango? Mutango, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
I hope I have pronounced your name correctly.
Yes, it's correct.
Okay. So please tell me, why did you choose RWB?
I chose reading and writing because I've always been interested in reading and writing, and it was just my only option. I couldn't go for speaking and presentation skills because I wasn't interested in it.
Okay, good to know that. Yeah, and where do you want to use your writing skills?
Because I know in future there are many opportunities for me to write formal letters or reports or other things. So I would really love to learn how to write.
Sure. Thank you. Then we have Nadine. Nadine, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I hope I have pronounced your name correctly. Nadine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Nadine. So if you could tell me, why did you choose RWB?
Okay, I chose reading and writing because it's more important to first know reading and writing before you can speak or present.
Okay. And where do you want to use it once you learn, let's say, to read and write well? Where do you want to use it?
I want to, in future, to use it in business, like recording. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Good to know that. Okay, so then you have Naveen has come. So now, Nahum Samuel. Nahum Samuel.
Yes, sir.
Nahum, have I pronounced your name correctly? Nahum Samuel?
Yes, that's correct, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you. So Nahum, why did you choose? Should I call you Nahum or Nahum Samuel?
You can call me Nahum. Samuel
Nahum
is my last name.
Okay, so I can call you Nahum, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, Nahum. So if you could please tell me, why did you choose Nahum?
Because I'm more interested in writing. When it comes to writing, we can take our time and mention everything in our mind without missing anything. That's why.
Okay, and where do you wish to use your writing skills once it is developed?
To write a business later. Maybe someday I can write a book. That's right.
Okay. Sure. So all the best for that, Chelly. So next we have Yoveri. Do we have Yoveri?
Yes, sir.
Have I pronounced your name correctly, Yoveri?
Yes, sir. That's true. It's Yoel.
Yoveri, fine. Okay, Yoveri. So why did you select RWB?
Yeah, the most paramount reason that made me to choose the reading and writing for business is because in business context, we need to have more knowledge-based writing and reading skills so that we can be able to prove that we are an expert or we are experts in business, making our writing credible, expanding many other abilities so that you can be able to attract more clients in business, earning more money by writing business proposals and business plans so that you can be able to sell them to other clients. In fact, the main reason why I decided to choose this is because that in future I will be able to access more possibilities so that I can be able to expand my possibilities and rather my personal development and professionalism.
Okay. Sure. Thank you, Yoveri, for your views. Now, anybody else? I have scrolled down the list of participants. Have I missed anybody? Bimal, did you speak? I don't remember. So that I can get information about this topic. Okay. Yes, Bimal, can you unmute your mic? Bimal Rai, are you there? Bimal? Bimal Rai, can you hear me? I think you were there. Were you there in the last lecture, Bimal? Let me see. Yeah, he was there in the last lecture. So, but today I think there is some technical issue. I don't think he is able to listen to what I'm saying. Anyway, so this is what our class consists of at the moment. The 11 students, as I can see. I think later on the other students might join. Yes, Abdul, did we talk?
Hi, teacher.
Hi. Did you tell me why did you choose RWB?
I hope you're all fine, teachers. Because of that, I will choose RWB. We all know before starting something, we should know about all things about that, and I want to know about business management before I starting this. So because of that, I selected RWB because of that I should manage all my if I start a business, I can manage and know all things about business, and because of that, I choose RWB.
Okay, okay. Sure, sure. Good to know that, Abdul. I should call you Abdul, right?
Yeah, my name is Basit, and it's my yeah, Abdul Basit.
So I can call you Abdul Basit, right?
Yeah.
Fine, fine. Well, students, I need to confess these things that I think we did discuss in the last lecture also, that I will take some time to pronounce your name correctly. So pardon me if I'm not able to pronounce your name correctly, right? So that will take some time. Now, congratulations for your choices that you have made for RWP or SPS, whatever you have made. I think I did mention in the previous lecture that whatever elective you will choose, what we can assure you that you will be given all four skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking with the proper perspective. The only difference would be that here in this elective, you would be oriented towards languages through reading and writing, whereas in the SPS, it will be more towards speaking and presentation skills. But if you have ever engaged into any kind of speaking assignments, you will always know that you will be able to speak only when you read, right? If you really want to speak formally over a topic for let's say 5 to 6 minutes, you need to read some research, say papers, some reviews, some literature, based on which you will be able to speak. So if you are not a good reader, you cannot be a good speaker. So reading and writing, listening and speaking, all these four skills are interconnected, right? So that way you can rest assured, even if you have chosen LWB, your speaking skills would be honed. And even if somebody has chosen SPS, the reading and writing skills will also be uploaded or improved. So this is something which you can keep in mind while doing it. Now, so far as writing skills are concerned, we need to know that reading comes before writing, right? So reading is a skill that we all require as, say, business students. We need to read, we need to understand, and we should also be in position to write. But that is the second stage, right? In fact, if we look at the chronology in which these four skills are acquired, are L, S, R, and W. So L stands for listening. So we learn to listen first language or any new language that you learn. Naturally, the listening would come first, then speaking would say be the second, then the reading part would come, and writing would come at the last, because writing is the most complex, say, of all four skills, right? So those who want to improve their writing will have to keep this in mind, that if you are a very good reader, there are chances that you'll be a good writer. And if you, let's say, it's like given that if you really want to improve your writing skills, you need to be a good reader. So that's interconnected with it. The same applies with speaking and listening. In case some of you have doubts with your speaking abilities and speaking skills, you need to work more on your listening skills. A better listener makes a better speaker. The same way, better reader makes a better writer, right? So these four skills are that way interconnected. So far as reading and writing for business syllabus is concerned, there are articles that are there in our syllabus. I'll be uploading the syllabus and the articles in our Google Classrooms. I hope all of you are able to access Google Classrooms and the assignments and the material given there. There is no technical say problem that you face, right? All of you are able to access Google Classrooms from your end, right? So in case I'll upload some of the documents, material there, you will be able to access that, right? Yes, a new student has problems. I would suggest Ali Khail to contact either Ali Khail said from BBA. So you can contact Ali Khail, you can contact Kiran sir, Kiran Kumar sir. He'll guide you in terms of orientation, let's say how to use this, a technical part and all. So even after doing that, you're still not getting it, definitely in the next lecture, I'll try and help you, right? But first of all, approach Kiran sir, whether you have got the ID or not, because I think today you joined with your personal email address, right, Ali Khail? Because if you want to join the Google Classrooms regularly, you will have to use institution's email address, right? So all those steps you'll be told by Jitendra sir, as well as in your case Kiran sir, right? So I'm sure you know Kiran Kumar sir, right? So he'll guide you further. But apart from Ali Khal, who is a new admission, most of you are able to yes, all of you are joined with your Marwadi ID. It's only a new student who might not have the email address. That's why he joined with his personal ID. So when you access email address from institutional ones, then it will be formal. It will be we will be in a better position to communicate through emails, through Google Classrooms, right? So those are the platforms that are now new normal. Let's hope that this pandemic gets say over as early as possible, so that we can welcome all of you physically to our country and to our campus, right? So till then we'll be using these online platforms wherein we'll be interacting and we'll be discussing. So that way it has to be mandatory for all of you to be good with your say technical skills in terms of using these tools, Google Meet and Google Calendar and Google Classrooms, through which we are going to share all the pieces of information, right? So that's from my side today. Next lecture we'll have on Monday. So on Monday, what I'm going to have is an introductory round. I just want all of you to prepare, let's say maybe a write-up of 4 to 5 say lines, or maybe you can add not more than say 10 sentences about yourself. I think many of the other lecturers and subjects will also be expecting you to do this. It will help you to formulate your things. You might obviously know everything about yourself, but when you are sharing your information with others, that okay, I'm this is my name, this is my country, this is what I have studied, and these are my future plans. So those are 5, 6 say themes that you can share in these 10 sentences. I don't want anybody to use more than 10 sentences in self-introduction, right? It could be less than that, but not more than that, right? So try to confine. So let's say, how do you prepare for this? Very simple. You prepare everything that you would like to share on a piece of paper. Then you will see it might be more than 10 or even 20 sentences. Then read your sentences that you have put on paper and see what are the details that you can omit, or what are the details you can club in a sentence. So for example, if you say, my name is Abdul and I'm from Kazakhstan, for example. So you use true sentences. My name is this and I'm from that country. You can say both these information in a sentence. Let's say you can say, let's say I'll give you an example. I am Mihir from India. Do you see that? So I used say 2 pieces of information into one. So that way, when you do a bit of say reading and writing of your own introduction, I want all of you to shrink 10 sentences. I'm saying maximum. If you can use lesser sentences, better, right? So that way it will help you in 2 ways. One, it will help you to put things on paper and reflect, and it will also give you an idea that how do you talk about yourself, or what are the things that you project and what are the things that you can avoid, right? So all those things you can give it a try with the help of this activity. So that is what we are going to have in the next lecture, where I'll be inviting you with some kind of writer. I could have done it today also, but I don't want to make uncomfortable, right? I just wanted to know a brief of your say notions of your choice that you made, right? That is RWB. Why RWB? So I could see good say observations and views about your choice. So that's wonderful and good to know. Now, in the next lecture, what I'll be inviting from all of you would be that introduce yourself. When you do that without writing, it will be different. Try it. I'm sure you must have tried, or I'm sure teachers, those whose lecture you have already attended, must have asked you that, okay, Christopher, tell me something about yourself, or okay, Zalalan, tell me something about yourself. And I'm sure you must have spoken, right? So that was there. It's there in the recording also. You can get back to those lectures, video lectures, and all these lectures are recorded. And these recordings would be available on YouTube, our institutional channel. So you can go back to that lecture where you had introduced yourself, right? So that you can keep. So that I'm sure must have been without written preparation. Like, you don't need much of a preparation to talk about yourself, right? Because you obviously know at least 10 things about yourself to worth sharing, or you share that, okay, I'm this, I'm from this country, these are things I like, this is what I have done, this is what I would like to do. You know, all those information you already know. What I want you to try is come with this kind of say scrutinization, that you put on paper, let's say 20, 30 sentences. Once you do that, then you rewrite those sentences and shrink these sentences into less than 10. 10, as I said, is the maximum number of a sentence or sentences that you are going to share about yourself. Lesser, the better, right? So these 10, 11 number of students that we have, I want you to do this activity, which you can say devise in terms of your self-introduction activity that we'll be starting from next lecture, that is Monday. Now, so far as reading and writing is concerned, I'll be sharing with you one of say the video, one of the scholars who is going to tell you about the importance of reading and writing for a university student, right? Why it is so very, very important for you to learn to read and read closely, and why it is important for you to say write about whatever you think, and how do we write that. So those conceptual things I'll share with you, very small video which you can watch again and again, so that it will give you an insight. So along with your self-introduction, we'll also discuss about the video that I'll be sharing with you in the Google Classroom today, so that you can access, you can watch. It will be nothing but the link of YouTube, say where the video is uploaded, so that you are going to watch, and then we are going to discuss about it, right? So that's there. Now, to give you brief say idea about the articles that we are going to start right after this introductory session, would be the articles that are related to business world, related to trade and commerce, and we have tried to choose the say business models that are as say new as possible. For example, the business that started after 2005 or even 2010 in some of the cases. So that means the establishment of a business that is quite new, right? And their struggle. These aspects, when we are studying and discussing, I need to keep in mind, I'll be reminding you again and again that we will be discussing the language aspect of it. I am not the management say teacher or a business say teacher. My background is language and communication, and my focus also would be on language and communication. We will take the articles that are from the field of trade and commerce and business, because we can correlate, or you can correlate better because you are a business student. So that's the idea that we are going to have. So this is something which I would suggest, that we are going to use this as the link. Okay. Fine. So this is what we are going to have. So I'll be sharing with you those links. These links are going to be of the articles that are mostly Indian business say models. One of them is Paytm, another would be MakeMyTrip.com. These two are the business models that are online, right? That are developed online platforms, right? So those things we are going to say watch. So these are the articles that we are going to discuss, and I'll be also sharing with you the further readings that you can also do. Fine. So now, with the help of this, I'll very quickly take your attendance, and then I'll give you say 5 to 10 minutes for doubt solving or questions in case you have. Right. So I think most of those who are present we have already seen. Okay. Salalan we have, Abdul Basit we have, Bilal Zakhan was present in the last lecture but not present today. He might have gone for the one. Okay, this is a good practice. You may put your enrollment number in the chat so that I'll get to know and I can remember that. So that's a good practice. Yes, I'm sure somebody must have suggested you, and it's a good suggestion that I'll have the record with me. Okay. Yeah, Yoveri will come to your question. Let them put the chat. Okay. So there are 11 students according to my chat thing, and I think all of you have put it here. Okay, so we'll discuss Yovari's question. In the meantime, if others have the questions, they can also put it in the chat so that we can get back to it. We still have roughly less than 10 minutes time, so we'll discuss one of the questions that is asked by Yovari. So Yovari has asked the question in the chat, which says, what is the major requirement for a student to become an expert in RWB? Now, reading and writing for business is something which is required, essential for the business student or a business thing. So that is something that is essential. But as I already shared, Yovari, that you can start with reading, right? So as I said, if you really want to become a good writer, you need to be a good reader. Now, when I say a reader, not a generic reader, it's like connected. I'm sure you know the term, computer edit term called input and output. So as would be the input, so would be the output. So let's say you want the output of, you want to become a good business communicator, or you want to, let's say, develop how to write proposals, or you want to write good business proposals, good business reports, then the input should be of the similar nature. That means you must be reading, say, business proposals prepared by the experts in the field. You must be reading the reports prepared by the say, expert in related things. So those, when you read, you will not only look at the structure, but also going to look at the language. That, okay, what are the kinds of languages that are used by the experts, and how are they different from the mediocre, right? So those things will help you to observe. So first of all, you need to be a good reader in that particular thing. So what are the major challenges do the students often mostly face? What they can do to combat those challenges? Well, the challenge would be mostly personal. Like if you, because see, if you are not a good reader, right? If you're not having the habit of reading, reading is very challenging, boring, and passive activity. Unlike listening. In the listening, if you just logged into the class, you'll start listening. When you are talking to somebody, even if you are not, say, paying attention, listening would happen, right? It's passive activity. You don't have to be active. Yeah, if you are an active, you will be a better listener. But unlike, say, reading, listening would be like voluntarily. You just need to be there physically and slightly mentally, then you can grasp it. But so far as reading is concerned, it requires involvement, it requires patience, it requires long hours of time where you can sit quietly away from others, because you can't speak and read at the same time, right? So that's the first challenge, that the input, reading would be your input, and this input would not be possible if you don't sit for long hours, right? Initially, you may not sit for hours if you're not reader, right? If you're a beginner, you might start with, let's say, half an hour or 1 hour a day, and once you are used to it, you can increase the time duration. And since you'll be starting, you should start with reading something that would interest you, right? Something that you'll find interesting, something that you'll find helpful in your field. So those things might help. But reading is a very good activity for the beginners. So tell us your personal experience as a student who was undertaking RWB. I never took RWB as a student, because when I was studying, there was no option called RWB. If I understood your question correctly, tell us your personal experience as a student who was undertaking. Yeah, I never took RWB because I'm from humanities background. I did my master's and PhD from language and communication and translation. So I never studied the communication even as a student. What I learned is through teaching in terms of communication, in terms of language, right? So, but what I learned as a reader is that it's a time-consuming activity, especially for a, say, teenager. If you're a teenager, first reaction, I mean, I don't know the cultures of the countries that you belong, but in general, this is the culture that, let's say, tell me the reaction of your friends when you are sitting with a book in your hand and you are reading, and your best friend, maybe your classmate, maybe your neighbor, who is a friend with your friendly neighbor maybe, what's their reaction when they see you with a book? Do they appreciate?
No,
They
sir,
ignore
they
you?
mostly say you're boring. If you're reading, they say you're boring.
Okay, okay. Now you are not disturbing them, right? You are on your own. You are reading your book. So why do you think this reaction? Are they jealous? What do you think? Yeah, Lam also said yes. So it's a common phenomena. People don't appreciate when you are reading. Did you notice that? Especially your peers of your same age group ones. They do, and some make fun of you. That's true, you're very. So they'll not appreciate you. This happens because reading is tough. Most people don't even start. And those who start, many of them leave in between. They don't continue. And then what happens is, when I can't do it, I'll not say I'm weak. I'll say you are weak or this activity is not fruitful. So this is what they do. They'll just say it's not worth it, or those who are doing are boring. Right. So that applies to reading, that applies to any kind of say activity that you do, which is meaningful. Right. And I just, it's the first lecture, but I think I should share with you the philosophy, core philosophy, which I believe is there is always a struggle between two aspects in your life. One is uh, happiness. Do you know the word happiness? How many of you think happiness should be the goal of life? That ultimately you want to be happy in your life. Okay, happiness is opposite of sad. Happiness is opposite of not being happy. That's true. But how many of you agree that happiness should be the ultimate goal of life? But ultimately, I want to be happy in life.
Of course, I want to.
Of course, all of you want to be happy. Ultimately, want to be happy in life. Is it? Yeah, most of you.
Yes, sir, you're right.
It could be you happy, your family happy, many people happy, Christopher, that's fine. But basically happiness for you, for your family, for your friends, happiness is a goal, right? Okay.
Yes, it is.
It is. For most of you, yes. Now, what if I tell you people live for happy life or to get happy? Not for always. So, Alikhal, why not always? I'm sure you have better options. Happiness is not always the goal. Then what are the other goals, do you think? Ali Khal?
Because I think sometimes we need to be, or to catch a matter, say, kind of setting ourselves, because always life is not going according to our point of view. So sometimes we have to be changed. Sometimes we have to change ourselves with other environment. So because of this, we can say that maybe the goal will be happiness, but I think sometimes we need to be in other moods too, because one mood always can't give us to our goal and reach us there.
Yes. Okay, Ali Khal, as I understood that you may not be happy all the time, but still your goal is happiness, right? You may or may not become happy. That's a different problem because it's not always in your hand. But still, happiness is the goal, right, Ali Khal?
Yes, yes, sir.
Right? You may or may not get what you want, right? I'm sure some of you might like to have a Lamborghini, which you may or may not get, but you still want it. Same way, happiness is something that you want, which you may not get. But what if I tell you that it's not a smart goal? It's not worth pursuing. Happiness is not worth pursuing. There's a better goal than happiness.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, you're very.
I think happiness is a choice, regardless of the prevailing circumstances a person may be undergoing.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So happiness is
even
something.
though
Yes,
happiness is the most paramount ambition for most of the people, but even though you acquire very many possessions like wealth, when you don't decide to become happy, definitely you can't. So
True.
whether you have the
Everything.
less or whatever, so happiness is a choice according to my own perspective.
Okay, okay, you're there. You're almost there. What if I tell you that I can grant you? You want to be happy or unhappy in life? Tell me, I'm going to bless you. I have superpowers. I can make you happy like this. If you want happiness, who is stopping you? If I say Christopher is happy or unhappy, who decides it? I'll say bad things to Christopher. I'll insult him. I'll scold him. Why are you not doing this? Why are you doing that? I can do whatever nonsense I want with my language towards him. But how to react is the choice that Christopher has. Right?
Absolutely.
I want to remain happy. So happiness is not a goal. What I'm trying to highlight here is that happiness is not a goal. Right? Peace of mind and happiness are the state of mind, which is prerequisite for anything meaningful you want to do in life. Right? It cannot be a
You're
goal.
right, sir.
Right? So what should be then the goal? Yes, you decide on your own happiness. That's true, Matunga. What I'm trying to tell you is that happiness cannot be and should not be the goal. Opposite of happiness is what? What is the opposite of happiness? Any idea? Opposite of happiness is meaningfulness. If you really want to do anything meaningful in your life, it will be first of all not comfortable, like reading. Reading is not comfortable for most people. Right? Some of them may like, some of them may not like, but basically reading something is for meaning. Right? It's difficult. And that's why it's not going to make you quote unquote happy for an initial period at least. Right? But whatever is that you're pursuing in your life that is meaningful is going to be painful, it's going to be tough, it's going to be difficult. But when you do these tough and difficult things, you will feel meaningful and understand. I'll share with you some of the research in the psychoanalysis and psychology and sociology that are done, that human beings are meaning searching beings. We like to search for the meaning of life, our life, somebody's life, everybody's life, right? Depends on our capacity, right? It may vary, but basically we like to find the meaning in life. When you find a meaning in life, even if we are not comfortable, even if we are not rich, even if we are not quote unquote happy, we'll be comfortable that yes, I know it's painful, but I know why I'm doing this. I know I'm not comfortable, but I know why I'm doing this. Right? So when meaningfulness is the goal of your life, life may not be happy, may not be comfortable. In fact, mostly will not be comfortable, because anything meaningful in your life that you will say hunt or go for is going to be difficult. Right? So that's why it's my appeal. I don't want to give you instructions next time onwards, set this as your life goal. No, I don't want to impose anything on you. I just want you to think that, is happiness the highest goal? Could it be the highest goal in your life? Or should you go for meaningfulness? Now, what is meaningful for you, that you have to decide, that you have to identify, that I want to consider this as meaningful in my life, and you can go for it. You are the best judge for your life. But I would strongly appeal that you should go for meaningfulness in your life. I'm sure it will be a good thing to pursue. Right? So with this note, I'll call it a day. I think we have one new student who has joined. I think he also is a new student. And I'll talk to him and I'll take his name. What's your name? I could see your name is Zandri. Zandri, have I pronounced your name correctly? I don't know. Number 250. Can you please unmute your mic? The student who joined last, Zandri. Janji, can you hear me? Yes, Janji. I think his network issue. Yes, I also think so. And he left. Fine. I'm sure we'll have this connectivity issue and attendance issue next onwards. So please remember your simple task. You are going to give your self-introduction, but not without preparation. If you tell me I'm not prepared, I'll say, okay, don't do it today. But I want all of you to spend some time with yourself, with your pen and paper, put things on paper, and then I'm sure it will help you, right? So see you then in the next lecture on Monday, and we'll continue with this say exercise that we decided to do today, right? So that's all for today. So those who are done with their attendance can leave. Zehanni and others, I'll talk to them separately.